Good morning, everyone. We're going to do a fireside chat today, like President Roosevelt used to do. I think 8 days after he took office, he did his first fireside chat when the banking industry collapsed. Oh, there's no fireside. Oh, there's a fireplace over there, but it's not working. Okay, it's one of those electric fireplaces, and we have a real fireplace downstairs, right? Up in our bedroom, we put an electric fireplace because my wife likes fireplaces just immensely. And it used to have those fake flames, and it produces heat. So it still produces heat, but the flames don't work. So she doesn't like it, although it still produces the same amount of heat. But all right, so we don't have that. We got a little fountain going. We got the rain going outside. Oh, okay. It's Monday. It's still rainy and cold and miserable, but I think this is our lot in life. We're going to do some Raisin in the Sun. We're going to read starting with Act 3 and see how far we get, may even get to the end. Or we may get halfway through and I'll cut the video off because it's getting too long. Okay, we'll just see how we go as it's going through. Thank you all. Oh, I almost dropped that. Woo! I am a klutz. Thank you all for doing your work. Continue. Oh man, I spilled that everywhere. Thank you all for doing your work and staying on top of things. I know these times are difficult. I really do. I know I keep saying that. I'm sure all your teachers are saying that, but it's true. These are difficult times. This is crisis schooling. This is not normal. So it shouldn't feel normal. Most important is you, the collective you. You need to take care of yourselves. You need to make sure that you're getting exercise. You need to make sure that you're getting some kind of contact with the outside world, whether that's, social media, positive social media, please, right? Not negative. No one needs that. Make sure you're keeping your brain engaged, that you're doing schoolwork, sure, but that you're doing other things to keep your brain engaged, maybe reading or puzzling or playing games with the family if that's possible. Make sure you're keeping track of your spiritual self, whatever that means to you. Right? Staying strong there, mind, body, and spirit. Happy and healthy. That's what I really want for you. I want you to know that Raisin in the Sun. I do. But I want you to be happy and I want you to be healthy. That's the most important thing. So Maddie talked me into going hatless today. This hair, I haven't had a haircut in forever. I didn't get a haircut. I don't know if I had a haircut when I had a cast or not. When I was injured, I think I went out once when I was injured and got a haircut. I did, but not since, right? So I was going to wear my hat today, right? Like I always do. I wear a hat 24/7. Always wear a hat, especially this long mop of hair. But Maddie convinced me to go without it today, so at least I'll start without it. Okay. All right, here we go. Raisin in the Sun. Drink your drinks if you have them. Talk amongst yourselves. Bring it back. And, let's go. Here we go. All right. Act 3. It's an hour later. The last thing that happened was Walter found out that all that money was gone. Just gone. He just done give it away. Right? The scheming guy. And Mom was like, no, Walter, all of it, beneath the schooling money, everything. If she starts, so she just starts wailing on him, right? Just wailing on him. And he's screaming, no, Walter, no. Willie, not that money. That money's made out of my father's flesh. It's an hour later. There is a sullen light of gloom in the living room, gray light, not unlike that which began the first scene of Act 1. Right? Think about that symbolically. Act 1 started and it was dark and depressing, and a lot of your first impressions were they seem sad, or it seems like a poor place, or they seem depressed, or so it's dark again. It's dark and it's the hope has been sucked out of the room. It was dark at the beginning and suddenly it had brightened. It had brightened for Mama and Ruth and Travis and Benita because they thought they were getting a house and schooling and they could have that baby and life would be good. It got bright for Walter because he thought he was going to do this great business deal with all this money. And then when the money went, sucked all the hope out of the house again. At left, we can see Walter within his room, alone with himself. He is stretched out on the bed, his shirt out and open, his arms under his head. He does not smoke. He does not cry out. He merely lies there looking up at the ceiling, much as if he were alone in the world. Defeated. He's absolutely defeated. In the living room, Benita sits at the table, still surrounded by the now almost ominous packing crates. She sits looking off. We feel that this is a mood struck perhaps an hour before, as it lingers now, full of the empty sound of profound disappointment. We see on a line from her brother's bedroom the sameness of their attitudes. Presently, the bell rings and Benita rises without ambition or interest in answering. It is Asagai, smiling broadly, striding into the room with energy and happy expectation and conversation. He has no idea what's just happened. I came over. I had some free time. I thought I might help with the packing. I like the look of packing crates, a household in preparation for a journey. It depresses some people, but for me, it is another feeling. Something full of the flow of life, do you understand? Movement, progress. It makes me think of Africa. Africa? What kind of mood is this? Have I told you how deeply you move me? He gave away the money, Asagai. Who gave away what money? The insurance money. My brother gave it away. Gave it away? He made an investment with a man even Travis wouldn't have trusted. And it's gone? Gone. I'm very sorry. And you, now? Me? Me? This is Benita. Me, I'm nothing. Me? When I was very small, we used to take our sleds out in the wintertime, and the only hills we had were the ice-covered stone steps of some houses down the street. And we used to fill them in with snow and make them smooth and slide down them all day, and it was very dangerous, you know, far too steep. And sure enough, one day a kid named Rufus came down too fast and hit the sidewalk. And we just saw his face just split open right there in front of us. And I remember standing there looking at his bloody open face thinking that was the end of Rufus. But the ambulance came and they took him to the hospital and they fixed the broken bones and they sewed it all up. And the next time I saw Rufus, he had just a little line down the middle of his face. I never got over that. Walter sits up, listening on the bed. Throughout this scene, it is important that we feel his reaction at all times, that he visibly responds to the words of his sister and Asagai. What? That was what one person, that was what one person could do for another. Fix him up. Solve the problem. Make him all right again. That was the most marvelous thing in the world. I wanted to do that. I always thought it was the one concrete thing in the world that a human being could do. Fix up the sick, you know, and make them whole again. This was truly being God. You wanted to be God? No, I wanted to cure. It used to be so important to me. I wanted to cure. It used to matter. I used to care. I mean, about people and how their bodies hurt. And you stopped caring? Yes, I think so. Why? Walter rises, goes to the door in his room, and is about to open it, then stops and stands listening, leaning on the door jamb. Now, she's talking about this instant when the Rufus hit the sidewalk and his face split open and the doctors sewed him up and fixed him. She wanted to do that, to sew people up, to fix the problem, to be a healer, right? She's talking about wanting to go and be a doctor. Now, Walter's listening in the background, right? This idea of healing and being a fixer and sewing it up and making it better. Is there anything Walter could do, you think? Or is there anything that you think Walter might think he can do? It might not be the best idea, but is there something that you think Walter might think that he can do? All right, let's see. Benita goes on. Because it doesn't seem deep enough, close enough to what ails mankind. I mean, this thing of sewing up bodies or administering drugs, don't you understand? It was a child's reaction to the world. I thought that doctors had the secret to all the hurts. That's the way a child sees things, or an idealist. Children see things very well sometimes, an idealist even better. I know that's what you think because you are still where I left off. You still care. This is what you see for the world, for Africa. You with the dreams of the future will patch up all Africa. You're going to cure the great sore of colonialism with independence. Yes, yes. And you think that one word is the penicillin of the human spirit, independence. But then what? That will be the problem for another time. First, we must get there. And where does it end? End? Who even spoke of an end? To life? To living? An end to misery. Smiling, he says, You sound like a French intellectual. No, I sound like a human being who just had her future taken right out of her hands. While I was sleeping in my bed in there, things were happening in this world that directly concerned me, and nobody asked me, consulted me. They just went out and did things and changed my life. Don't you see there isn't any real progress, Asagai? There is only one large circle that we march in, around and around, each of us with our own little picture in front of us, our own little mirage that we think is the future. That is the mistake. What? What you just said about the circle. It isn't a circle. It is simply a long line, as in geometry, one that reaches into infinity. And because we cannot see the end, we also cannot see how it changes. And it is very odd, but those who see the changes are called idealists, and those who cannot or refuse to think, they are realists. It is very strange and amusing, too, I think. You, you're almost religious. Yes, I think I have the religion of doing what is necessary in the world and of worshiping man, because he is so marvelous, you see. Man is foul, and the human race deserves its misery. You see, you have become the religious one in the old sense already, and after such a small defeat, you are worshiping despair. From now on, I worship the truth, and the truth is that people are puny, small, and selfish. Truth? Truth? Why is it that you are why why is it you despairing ones always think that only you have the truth? I never thought to see you like that. You. Your brother made a stupid, childish mistake, and you are grateful to him, so that now you can give up the alien human race on account of it. You talk about what good is struggle, what good is anything, where are we all going, and why are we all bothering? And you cannot answer it. All your talk and dreams about Africa and independence. Independence, and then what? What about all the crooks and petty thieves and just plain idiots who will come into power to steal and plunder the same as before, only now they will be black and do it in the name of the new independence? You cannot answer that. Shouting over her, I live the answer. In my village at home, it is the exceptional man who can even read a newspaper, or whoever sees a book at all. I will go home, and much of what I will have to say will seem strange to the people of my village. But I will teach and work, and things will happen slowly and swiftly. At times it will seem that nothing changes at all, and then again the sudden dramatic events that make history leap into the future. And then quiet again, retrogression even, guns, murder, revolution. And I even will have moments when I wonder if the quiet was not better than all the death and hatred. But I will look about my village at the illiteracy and disease and ignorance, and I will not wonder long. And perhaps I will be a great man. Perhaps I will hold on to the substance of truth and find my way always with the right course. And perhaps for it I will be butchered in my bed some night by the servant of an empire. The martyr. Or perhaps I shall live to be a very old man, respected and esteemed in my new nation. And perhaps I shall hold office, and this is what I'm trying to tell you, Alayo. Perhaps the things I believe now for my country will be wrong and outmoded. And I will not understand and do terrible things to have things my way or merely to keep my power. Don't you see that there will be young men and women, not British soldiers then, but my own black countrymen, to step out of the shadows some evening and slit my then useless throat? Don't you see they have always been there, that they will always be, and that such a thing as my own death will be in advance? They who might kill me even, actually replenish me. Oh, Asagai, I know all that. Good. Then stop moaning and groaning and tell me what you plan to do. Do? I have a bit of a suggestion. What? Then that when it is all over, that you come home with me. Oh, Asagai, at this moment you decide to be romantic? Oh, my dear, young creature of the New World. I do not mean across the city. I mean across the ocean, home, to Africa. To Nigeria? Yes. 300 years later, the African prince rose up out of the seas and swept the maiden back across the middle passage over which her ancestors had come. Nigeria? Nigeria. Home. I will show you our mountains and our stars, and give you cool drinks from our gourds, and teach you the old songs and the ways of our people, and in time we will pretend that you have only been away for a day. She turns her back to him, thinking. He swings her around and takes her full in his arms in a long embrace which proceeds to passion. You're getting me all mixed up. Why? Too many things that happened today. I must sit down and think. I don't know what I feel about anything right this minute. She promptly sits down and props her chin on her fist. All right, I shall leave you. No, don't get up. Just sit a while and think. Never be afraid to sit a while and think. How often I have looked at you and said, ah, so this is what the new world hath finally wrought. He leaves. Benita sits on alone. Presently, Walter enters from his room and starts to rummage through things, feverishly looking for something. She looks up and turns in her seat. Yes, just look at what the new world has wrought. Just look. There he is, Monsieur le Petit Bourgeois Noir himself. There he is, symbol of a rising class, entrepreneur, titan of the system. Monsieur le Petit Bourgeois Noir means there he is, the little black man of the middle class, the bourgeoisie, the middle class. Walter ignores her completely and continues frantically and destructively looking for something and hurling things to the floor and tearing things out of their place in his search. Beneath ignores the eccentricity of his actions and goes on with her monologue of insults. He's just searching madly for something in the room. Did you dream of yachts on Lake Michigan, brother? Did you see yourself on that great day sitting down at the conference table surrounded by all the mighty bald-headed men in America, all halted, waiting, breathless, waiting for your pronouncements on industry, waiting for you, chairman of the board? Walter finds what he's looking for, a small piece of white paper, and pushes it in his pocket and puts on his coat and rushes out without ever having looked at her. She shouts after him, I look at you and I see the final triumph of stupidity in the world! Any idea what he just found? Any idea what he was looking for? What he put in his pocket and ran off with? Trying to fix things? Trying to heal everybody? Trying to make it better? Oh, wait a minute. Anyone? Eva? Nicole? Jake? May? Zooey? Nobody? Nobody has any ideas? None. Mary Grace? No. Alyssa? Alex? Nobody? Okay. Hang on, we'll see. Ruth. Ruth comes quickly out of Mama's room when the door slams. Who was that? Your husband. Where did he go? Who knows? Maybe he has an appointment at U.S. Steel. You didn't say nothing bad to him, did you? Bad? Say anything bad to him? No, I told him he was a sweet boy and full of dreams and everything is strictly peachy keen, as the Ofe kids say. Mama enters from her bedroom. She is lost, vague, trying to catch hold and make some sense of her former command of the world, but it still eludes her. A sense of waste overwhelms her gait. A measure of apology rides on her shoulders. She goes to her plant, which has remained on the table, looks at it, picks it up and takes it to the windowsill and sets it outside, and she stands and looks at it a long moment. Then she closes the window, straightens her body with effort, and turns around to her children. Well, ain't it a mess in here, though? False, trying to be cheerful when she's not really feeling it. I guess we all better stop moping around and get some work done. All this unpacking and everything we got to do. Ruth raises her head slowly in response to the sense of the line of unpacking, and beneath in a similar manner turns very slowly to look at her mother. One of you all better call the moving people and tell them not to come. Tell them not to come? Of course, baby. Ain't no need of them coming all the way here and having to go back. They charge us for that, too. Lord, ever since I was a little girl, I always remember people saying, Lena Eggleston, you aims too high all the time. You needs to slow down and see life a little more like it is. Just slow down some. That's what they always used to say down home. Lord, that Lena Eggleston is a high-minded thing. She'll get her due one day. No, Lena. Me and Big Walter just didn't never learn right. Lena, no. We gotta go. Benny, tell her. Ruth rises and crosses to Beneath with her arms outstretched. Beneath doesn't respond. Tell her we can still move. The notes ain't but $125 a month. We got 4 grown people in this house. We can work. Just aim too high all the time. Lena, I'll work 20 hours a day in all the kitchens in Chicago. I'll strap my baby on my back if I have to and scrub all the floors in America and wash all the sheets in America if I have to. But we got to move. We got to get out of here. Mama reaches out absently and pats Ruth's hand. No, I see things differently now. But think about some of the things we could do to fix this place up some. I seen a secondhand bureau over on Maxwell Street just the other day that could fit right there. Would need some new handles on it and then a little varnish and it looks like something brand new. And we could put up them new curtains in the kitchen. Why, this place be looking fine. Cheer us all up so we forget trouble ever came. And you could get some nice screens to put up in your room around the baby's bassinet. Sometimes you just got to know when to give up some things and hold on to what you got. Walter comes in. Where you been, son? Made a call. To who, son? To the man. What man, baby? The man, Mama. Don't you know who the man is? Walter Lee. The man. Like the guys in the street say, the man, Captain Boss, Mr. Charlie. Oh, Captain, please, Mr. Boss Man. The man stands for the white man in charge, right? Who's holding everyone else down. So who did he call? Liv? Yes. Yes, he called the guy from the welcoming committee. Right? Lindner? That's right. That's good. I told him to come right over. What you want to see him for? We're going to do business with him. What you talking about, son? Talking about life, Mama. You always telling me to see life like it is. Well, I laid in there on my back today, and I figured it out. Life just like it is. Who gets and who don't get. Mama, you know it's all divided up. Life is, sure enough, between the takers and the tooken. I figured it out, finally. Yeah, some of us always get tooken. People like Willie Harris, they don't never get tooken. And you know why the rest of us do? Because we all mixed up. Mixed up bad. We get to look around for the right and the wrong. We worry about it and cry about it and stay up nights trying to figure out about the wrong and the right of things all the time. And all the time, man, them takers is out there operating, just taking and taking. Willie Harris? Shoot, Willie Harris don't even count. He don't even count in the big scheme of things. But I'll say one thing for old Willie Harris. He's taught me something. He's taught me to keep my eye on what counts in this world. Yeah, thanks, Willie. What did you call that man for, Walter Lee? Called him and tell him to come on over to the show. Gonna put on a show for the man. Just what he wants to see. You see, Mama? The man came here today and he told us that them people out there where you want us to move, well, they so upset they wanted to pay us not to move out there. And oh, Mama, you would have been proud of the way me and Ruth and Biddy acted. We told him to get out. Lord have mercy. We told the man to get out. Oh, we were some proud folks this afternoon. Yeah, we were still full of that old-time stuff. You talking about taking them people's money to keep us from moving in that house? I ain't just talking about it, baby. I'm telling you that's what's going to happen. Oh, God, says Benita, where is the bottom? Where is the real, honest-to-God bottom so he can't go further? See? That's the old stuff, Walter goes on to say. You and that boy that was here today, you all want everybody to carry a flag and a spear and sing some marching songs, huh? You want to spend your life looking into things and trying to find the right and the wrong part, huh? Yeah, you know what's going to happen to that boy someday? He'll find himself sitting in a dungeon, locked in forever, and the takers will have the key. Forget it, baby. There ain't no causes. There ain't nothing but taking in this world, and he who takes the most is smartest, and it don't make a bit of difference how. Now, Mama, think about how Mama's going to respond to this. Walter's talking about letting that man come over here and putting on a yezza mazza bossa, yezza, a song and dance like they used to portray black folks with the white people put on blackface and do the jigs on the TV and the movies and make fun of black folks and the stereotypical. We talked about it with Jim Crow laws. Jimmy, right? And the whole act, the whole presentation, right? Mom was looking at her son, who lost all the money, gave it away, and now he's going to give away any dignity, the last shred of any respect or dignity he has or the family. Mama says, "You making something inside me cry, son. Some awful pain inside me. Don't cry, Mama. Understand. That white man is going to walk in that door able to write checks for more money than we ever had. It's important to him, and I'm going to help him. I'm going to put on the show, Mama. Son, I come from 5 generations of people who was slaves and sharecroppers, but ain't nobody in my family never let nobody pay him no money. That was a way of telling us we wasn't fit to walk the earth. We ain't never been that poor. We ain't never been that dead inside." Well, we are dead now, says Benita. All the talk about dreams and sunlight that goes on in this house, all dead. What's the matter with you all? I didn't make this world. It was given to me this way. Yes, I want me some yachts someday. Yes, I want to hang some real pearls around my wife's neck. Ain't she supposed to wear no pearls? Somebody tell me. Tell me, who decides which woman is supposed to wear pearls in this world? I tell you, I am a man, and I think my wife should wear some pearls in this world. The last line hangs a good while, and Walter begins to move about the room. The word man has penetrated his consciousness. He mumbles it to himself repeatedly between strange, agitated pauses as he moves about. Baby, how you going to feel on the inside? Fine. Going to feel fine. A man. You won't have nothing left there, Walter Lee. I'm going to feel fine, Mama. I'm going to look the man in the eyes and say, he's having trouble even doing it, and say, all right, Mr. Linda, that's your neighborhood out there. You got the right to keep it like you want. You got the right to have it like you want. Just write the check and the house is yours. I'm going to say, his voice breaks, you people just put the money in my hand and you won't have to live next to this bunch of... He straightens up and moves away from his mother, walking around the room. Maybe I'll just get down on my black knees. He does so. Ruth and Benny and Mama watch him in frozen horror. Captain, Mr. Boss Man. And he starts to cry. Yes, sir. Great white father. Just give us the money, folks. Just give us the money, for God's sake. And we ain't going to come out there and dirty up your white folks' neighborhood. He breaks down completely, then gets up and goes into the bedroom. That is not a man. That is nothing but a toothless rat, says Benita. Yes. Death done come in this here house. Done come walking in my house. On the lips of my children. You what's supposed to be my beginning again. You what's supposed to be my harvest. She looks at Benita and says, You mourning your brother? He's no brother of mine. What you say? I said, that individual in that room is no brother of mine. That's what I thought you said. You feel like you're better than he is today. Yeah? What you tell him a minute ago? That he wasn't a man? Yes? You give him up for me? You done wrote his epitaph too? Like the rest of the world? Well, who give you the privilege? Be on my side for once. You saw what he just did, Mama. You saw him down on his knees. Wasn't it you who taught me to despise any man who would do that? Do what he's going to do? Yes, I taught you that. Me and your daddy. But I thought I taught you something else too. I thought I taught you to love him. Love him? There is nothing left to love. And man, I love Mama. Mama is a strong woman. Man, I love Mama. Listen to what Mama tells Benita right now. Mama says, there is always something left to love. And if you ain't learned that, you ain't learned nothing. Have you cried for that boy today? I don't mean for yourself and for the family because we lost the money. I mean for him. What he been through and what it done to him. Child, when do you think is the time to love somebody the most? When they done good and made things easy for everybody? Well, then you ain't through learning. Because that ain't the time at all. It's when he's at his lowest and can't believe in himself because the world done whipped him so. When you start measuring somebody, measure him right, child. Measure him right. Make sure you done taking into account what hills and valleys he come through before he got to wherever he is. And Travis bursts in. Man. Is Mama spot on or is Mama spot on? Okay, I'm going to rephrase this for you in a couple of different ways. One is Atticus Finch, right? You can't judge someone till you've walked around in his shoes a little bit. Mama, when you measure somebody, measure him right. Make sure you've done taking into account what hills and valleys he come through before he got to wherever he is. All right? Jesus, you know? What's the word? Anyway, it says love everybody, right? Anybody can be nice to people who are nice to you, right? Even the sinners can do that. The trick is to be nice, i.e. love people that are not nice to you. Love people that are mean to you. Love people that have hurt you. Love people that have made mistakes. Okay? Buddha. Hate was never ended by hate. Love is the only thing that can end hate. This is the way of the world. It's always been the way of the world. Hate never ends hate. Only love can end hate. And Mama says, have you mourned for your brother? Have you mourned for him? Not for the money, or for yourself, for the schooling, or for the family. Yeah, he made the stupid mistake of giving away that money. He did. And it's killing him inside. It is killing him. He has been beat down. Now, it was his own mistake, I get it. But he was beat down again. The whole world been beating him down his whole life. And now you, as his sister, going to beat him down too? You giving up on him? You telling him he's not a man? Nothing left to love? Can't love him anymore? This is when you're supposed to love people. It's easy when things are going well. It's easy when everyone's happy to go around. Oh, I love you, I love you, I love you. Everything's great. Love is a quantifiable force. Love is the void which binds. I am telling you, I'm guaranteeing you at this moment right now, on May, I don't know, my Fitbit doesn't work. On May 11th at 12:02 in the afternoon, I am guaranteeing you that at some point we are going to discover, maybe long after I'm dead, but we are going to discover that love is a physical force of the universe. Like Einstein said, gravitational waves exist. Couldn't see them, couldn't record. He said they existed. We have since proven that he was right, that gravitational waves move like light across the universe. I'm telling you, love is a quantifiable force. It is the void which binds all things together. I don't mean a feeling. I mean love. And this is the time you love someone. This is the time. He made a mistake. He gave the money away. He screwed up royally. This is when you love someone. Mama rocks. I'm telling you, Mama rocks. Strong, strong African woman. African American woman. Strong women. Man, love it. All right, this is getting long, but we're going to keep going. We got a few more. Yeah, just a couple pages. All right, Travis. Grandmama, the moving men are downstairs. The truck just pulled in. Are they, baby? They downstairs? She sighs and sits. Leonard appears in the doorway. He peers and knocks slightly to gain attention and comes in. I'll turn to him. Hello? Ruth crosses mechanically to the bedroom door and opens it and lets it swing open freely and slowly as a light comes up on Walter within, still in his coat, sitting at the far corner of the room. He looks up and out through the room to Linda. He's here. Walter gets up. Well, I certainly was glad to hear from you people. Walter's begun to trek out of the room slowly and awkwardly, rather like a small boy, passing the back of a sleeve across his mouth from time to time. Life can really be so much simpler than people let it be most of the time. Well, with whom do I negotiate? You, Mrs. Younger? Or your son here? Mama sits with her hands folded in her lap and her eyes closed as Walter advances. Travis goes close to Leonard and looks up at the papers curiously. Just some official papers, Sonny. Travis, you go downstairs. No, Mama says. Travis, you stay right here. And you make him understand what you doing, Walter Lee. You teach him good, like Willie Harris taught you. You show him where our 5 generations done come to. Go ahead, son. Walter looks down into his son's eyes. Travis grins at him merrily, the innocence of children. And Walter draws him beside him with his arm lightly around his shoulders. Well, Mr. Linda? Benita turns away. She can't look. We called you. There is a profound, simple, groping quality in his speech. Because, well, me and my family, well, we're very plain people. Yes. I mean, I have worked as a chauffeur most of my life, and my wife here, she does domestic work in people's kitchen. So does my mother. I mean, we are plain people. Yes, Mr. Younger. Walter looking like a small boy, looking at his shoes and up at the man, you know. And well, my father, well, he was a laborer most of his life. Yes, he's Leonard's like, what's going on? My father almost beat a man to death once because this man called him a bad name or something. You know what I mean? No, I'm afraid I don't. Well, what I mean is that we come from people who had a lot of pride. I mean, we are very proud people. And that's my sister over there, and she's going to be a doctor. And we are very proud. Well, I'm sure that is very nice, but Walter started to cry and facing the man eye to eye. What I'm telling you is that we called you over here to tell you that we are very proud and that this is my son who makes the sixth generation of our family in this country. And that we have all thought about your offer and we have decided to move into our house because my father, he earned it. Mama has her eyes closed and is rocking back and forth as though she were in church with her head nodding the amen yes. We don't want to make no trouble for nobody or fight no causes, but we will try to be good neighbors. That's all we got to say. He looks the man absolutely in the eyes. We don't want your money. He turns and walks away from the man. I take it then that you have decided to occupy to move in. That's what the man said. See what Benita did there? She said, you're not a man. And now she responds, that's what the man said. Walter getting all choked up. I get all choked up reading it. Walter getting all choked up. That's my sister. And she's going to be a doctor. And we are proud of her. We are a proud family. 6 generations now, we are not taking your money. As Mama said, we ain't never taking nobody's money as a way of telling us we ain't fit to walk the earth. Then I would like to appeal to you, Mrs. Younger. You are older and wiser and understanding things better, I am sure. Mama, I'm afraid you don't understand. My son said we was going to move and there ain't nothing left for me to say. You know how these young folks is nowadays, mister. Can't do a thing with them. Goodbye. Well, if you are that final about it, there's nothing left for me to say. He finishes. He is almost ignored by the family who are concentrating on Walter Lee. At the door, Leonard halts and looks around. I sure hope you people know what you're doing. Well, for God's sake, if the moving men are here, let's get the hell out of here. Ain't it the truth? Look at all this here mess. Ruth, put Travis's good jacket on him. Walter Lee, fix your tie and tuck your shirt in. You look just like somebody's hoodlum. Lord have mercy, where's my plant? She flies to get it amid the general bustling of the family who are deliberately trying to ignore the nobility of the past moment. You all start on down. Travis, child, don't go empty-handed. Ruth, where did I put that box with my skillets in it? I want to be in charge of it myself. I'm going to make us the biggest dinner we ever ate tonight. Benita, what's the matter with them stockings? Pull them things up, girl. The family starts to file out as 2 moving men appear and begin to carry out the heavier pieces of furniture, bumping into the family as they move about. Mama, Asagai asked me to marry him today and go to Africa. He did? You ain't old enough to marry nobody. Darling, that ain't no bale of cotton. Oh, she's talking to the moving man with her favorite chair. Darling, that ain't no bale of cotton. Please handle it so we can sit in it again. I had that chair 25 years. Benita goes on. To go to Africa, Mama. To be a doctor in Africa. Yes, baby. Africa? What do you want you to go to Africa for? To practice there. Girl, if you don't get all them silly ideas out of your head, you better marry yourself a man with some loot. Benita angrily, precisely as in the first scene of the play. What have you got to do with who I marry? Plenty. Now, I think George Murchison. He and Benita go out yelling at each other vigorously. Benita is heard saying that she would not marry George Murchison if he were Adam and she were Eve, etc. The anger is loud and real till their voices diminish. Ruth stands at the door and turns to Mom and smiles knowingly. Yeah, there's something all right, my children. Yeah, there's something. Let's go, Lena. Yes, I'm coming, Ruth. Oh, no, I'm sorry, I blew it. I'm coming. Ruth? Yes? He finally come into his manhood today, didn't he? Kind of like a rainbow after the rain. Yes, Lena. All right, honey, go on down. I'll be down directly. Ruth hesitates, then exits. Mama stands at last alone in the living room, her plant on the table before her as the lights start to come down. She looks around at all the walls and ceilings, and suddenly, despite herself, while the children call below, a great heaving thing rises in her, and she puts her fist to her mouth, takes a final desperate look, pulls her coat about her, pats her hat, and goes out. The lights dim down. The door opens, and she comes back in, grabs her plant, and goes out for the last time. The Younger family persevered like that plant who has struggled its whole life with with so little sunshine, struggled its whole life to live, not only to live, but to thrive and prosper, like the Younger family, like Mama, when she moved into that apartment 40 years ago with Big Walter. And Big Walter, who'd come home every day, working himself to the bone, to an early grave, a man who loved his children. They lost a child, but that family persevered. Walter was born. Benita was born. They grew up, suffered the pains of racism and discrimination, being poor, not just poor, being in poverty. Walter marries Ruth. They have Travis. No room for him in that house, in that little apartment, but they persevere. Big Walter dies. They get some money. Walter gives it away. They persevere. White folk come and try to keep them from, pay them not to move into their neighborhood. They persevere. And they leave that small, cramped, dark apartment, headed for a house, headed for a brighter future. Not easy. They're going to work their butts off. All four of them going to work hard to pay for that house. They're going to do it. They persevered. The dog's outside the room trying to get in. Just like that plan. All right, everybody. That's A Raisin in the Sun. I love it. Please do a journal today. And your journal, I want your journal to be on, hey baby, I want your journal entry today to be on this notion of when you should love someone. This notion of loving someone when they're at their lowest. Loving someone when it's not easy. And maybe even your thoughts on it. And maybe even if you can have an example of when you did that. Of when you were able to love someone in that person's lowest moment. When it wasn't easy for you. When maybe you were angry or hurt or I love you too, baby. Yeah. All right. I'll put some assignments up on the web. It's May 12th. Make sure you're working on your final. Okay. Couple of questions came in. Let me just answer them here. When you do the analysis, you analyze what it means, right? So, plot summary is imagine you've had a dream, okay, and you woke up and you don't know what the dream means, so you go to a psychiatrist and you say to the psychiatrist, Freud, I had this dream last night where I woke up, wings sprouted out of my buttocks, I began to fly up in the air. I turned into a cornstalk of yellow shriveled up corn, and I could no longer fly as a cornstalk because my bones weren't hollow like a bird's, and I began to fall quickly, and as I fell, a Great Dane opened his mouth and swallowed me in. I went through the Great Dane, out his buttocks. I don't know why butts are so prevalent in this dream, and out of the butt, diarrhea goes everywhere, and the cornstalk is now brown. So I transformed from a brown shriveled up cornstalk into a big pile of poo with corn nuggets stuck in it. At which time, Yeah, that's enough. Right. Okay. So you tell the psychiatrist that's your dream. That's plot summary. That's what happened. And the psychiatrist says, oh, wait, this is for you, Miranda, because nobody really ever does that. The psychiatrist goes, I'm not sure, honey. Let me finish up. I'll be right there, okay? Um, hmm. This dream means that you have a fear of growing into the person that you are meant to be, which is a pile of poo. I don't know, right? So when the psychiatrist tells you what it means, that's analysis. And then synthesis is when you connect that to the same theme or meaning of something else. So this reminds me of a different dream that you had, which also showed the fear of you growing to the person that you are meant to be, a pile of poo with corn nuggets. Okay, so you're going to analyze, no plot summary. You're going to analyze those quotes, tell me what they mean, and then give me what is out of your mind, right? That this is like the meaning or theme of a different work. It doesn't have to be To Kill a Mockingbird or A Raisin in the Sun or something we've done together. It can be, oh, don't turn the light up too much. My daughter just turned the sun on. Lower, 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 lower. Okay, it doesn't have to be one of. You turned it back up. Now I'm washed out again. Okay. So as she kept moving the light, it was irritating because I was trying to do my thought, right? So I was irritated with her. And that's when I should love her the most, right? So I love you the most right now. All right. She's wearing her Carol Baskin fed her husband to a tiger dress. Okay. I love you, babe. So it can be anything, right, that you've read or anything that you know, or it could be a movie, it could be a book, it could be something in real life. Stop, honey, baby. Just, please, honey, please analyze, please synthesize it with something else, okay? All right, my goodness, this video's gone on forever. So I'll stop. Do your journal. I'll put on the thing about wanting to see your journal entries later. Not sure how I'm going to do that yet. I'll put on some assignments and work on your final, and then we're going to do some short stories next. Okay, we're going to do some short stories. Hope you have your lit books. You need your lit books. Hope you have your lit books. Okay. All right. I love you all. Please be happy and be healthy, and I'll see you next time.